Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 17th of August 2017. How are you all doing? The energy's so crazy. Yesterday was all good, then it went all dark again, and it's just all we can do is ride the wave at the moment, especially Virgos, because the Mercury retrograde is in our sign as well, so we're feeling it, but like I say, don't try and sort anything out, just go with it, go with the flow, and that will make it easier. Okay, I'm having so many messages of people who are all experiencing it, so I feel you, I really feel you, because I am too. Okay, so right, the cards today are quite interesting. You know what, I love the tarot. I've been doing some really insightful readings lately, and they're just it blows my mind. It really, really does. So I'm using the Thoth deck this week, and I went to pull a card, and one actually came flying out, but so, if it falls on the floor, it comes in the door. So I've got to read that. That's not a really cheesy line that I made up. It's an old woman that used to read for me years ago, and that's what she used to say. So please forgive me if you thought that was pure gorgonzola there or something, okay? So the card that we have that sort of came out first, that flew out first, is the Nine of Discs. And this is gain, okay? So it's like the Nine of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And this is talking about gain, what you can get into your life, what you can get out of it, okay, if you actually step up to the mark and take what is being offered. So there's a lot of wisdom comes through with this card as well. And it's usually gain that is bonded by love. So there's love going on. There was with the cards yesterday, and there is today. But today it gives a little more insight, and it's a little bit more complicated, I think. With this card, like, the tagline of it is, the more I give, the more I receive. So this is it. The more you give out, if you hold back, okay, if you hold back, then you are stopping yourself from receiving as well. And many of us have a problem in receiving. I'm exactly the same. I love giving presents and things like that, but getting them back, it was always a real problem, so it's like I say, it's learning how to receive as well as give. And a lot of times we sit there and we think we haven't got what we want, but then we've got to look at where are we blocking that from coming at us. And this is what this is talking about. Now, what's interesting within this card is the three discs in the middle, okay? And what I want to say with this, we have the pink one, which is very like rose quartz here, so that is the love, but there's another two there as well, which are meant to be wisdom and creativity. But when I looked at this, it's like the binding force within these is love, because the love is showing up between the two. But I feel like this could be a three-person situation, or whether it's not in the physical, there is a three involved in this, okay? Now, right, okay, them dogs again, honest to God, I'm so pleased that they're going home tomorrow. So what I'm saying with this, I mean, the love that is talked about in this card is a love that will move you to the depths of your being, It's not just a superficial, on the outside it looks good. It is something that moves you deeply. It is something, as we spoke about yesterday, that is destined, But we need to realize ourselves first. We need to step into ourselves, because within the traditional tarot, the Nine of Pentacles is about independence. As I said yesterday, it's like know thyself. When you are happy within yourself, then your relationships will be happier, or you are opening the door for happier, more loving, more nurturing relationships to come to you as well, So this is, all of us want happiness and contentment. That is a goal, That's most of us. I think there's very few people that don't want that. People will say that they don't want that and they're happy being by themselves, but that is usually coming from a fear of being hurt again. Okay, so deep down, this is what we all want, and I'm 99% certain that will go for 99% of the people. So this card today, even though it's about gain and it's saying, you know, what you can have, it's a beautiful card. It's also saying, what are you retreating from? Because it's saying, you know, a lot of times through fear, you know, we remain in a comfortable place. We're frightened to pursue something new in case it hurts us like we've been hurt in the past, or in case it doesn't pan out in the way that we expect it to or something. So we retreat from that, and we actually don't allow ourselves to have this experience. Now that experience has been presented to you because you need to have that experience. You know, this is what we are on this earth for, to have experiences. And as I said yesterday, you know, none of them are really negative, that we will learn from it, but we need to embrace that. We need to have experience in order to learn what we want and what we don't want as well. So when we are in comfortable, okay, when we are in safe, I say this, there are so many people that are sitting in relationships where they are in safe and not in love, but it's what they know, and they're frightened to venture out there, you know, so they're not allowing themselves to have this true happiness, this true joy, and this love that moves them beyond being, you know. So this is saying, be like, you know, don't deny yourself this, allow yourself this, you know, you are entitled to be enlightened, okay, that's it. That you know, I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. I really am. Spirit said it to me one day. You are entitled to be enlightened, and it is your birthright to be happy and to be loved as well, you know. So like I say, this card is saying, don't stop yourself, because there's opportunities coming which will allow you to have this, okay? There is an opportunity there. There is a new chance like opening up before you. And this is saying, be ready to seize the moment, you know, when it appears. Because a lot of times this is what we're yearning for, yet we stay in this safe, or we stay, you know, with a little sort of safety net, okay? But what happens with this energetically is we are actually stopping anything from coming towards us, you know. So if we're with somebody who we think, well, they're okay, you know, I'm going to stay here until something better comes along, that is not good for you. It's not good for the other person, and it's not good energetically, because that other thing won't come along because you have got blocks up with it, you know. So if you aren't happy where you are, then actually, you know, move out of that space, and then you are opening yourself up for these more opportunities that are coming, and these more chances, you know. So like I say, this is saying, when you do this, and when you honour yourself and honour your needs as well, when you are giving yourself fully to life, life will give you back. You know, you are giving yourself and opening yourself up to the universe, and the universe will love you right back. It will, you know, and this is the cosmic law. You know, the more you give, the more you receive. The more you hold back, the less you will have, you know. So this is a beautiful card in a way, and it's like I say, I feel this is coming in as some sort of warning today, though. This is what I'm feeling with it. It's like, I feel like, you know, when a parent actually sits you down and says, look, you need to listen to me. You know, you might not want to hear what I'm saying, but this is for your own good. And that is how I feel Spirit are talking today. It's like, please take notice of what is being said, you know. This, as I said, there's knowledge, there's creativity within this, there is love, you know, and you will gain this from all situations in your life when you open yourself up to them. So the more deeply you're engaged in these situations, the deeper you dive right into them, you know, the more you will get out of it. So you will get more creativity, you will get more love, and you will get more knowledge and wisdom. When you are staying in safe or in comfortable, you don't get that, you know. You have this little trickle of whatever's coming, and that sustains you. When that, it doesn't really nourish you. You don't get the joy from that. So this card is talking about, you know, you cutting your own joy off, but like I say, there is three, sorry, there's three. I've got three dogs here that are making my life hell. They're not making it very comfortable, but they're giving me lots of love though. So this is what this card is saying, you know. Everything's fine. Oh, here's the other one. There's no show without punch, is there? Right, okay, Wilma. No, Wilma, that's Maisie. Sorry. Right, so the other card that came up today is death. Now, people hate the death card. People don't like it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, do you not like it, Maisie? I absolutely love the death card. The death is transformation. The death is finally closing the door on something that should have been shut a long time ago, you know. And you don't shut the door on something if you're happy there. So it's like I say, it is time now. Everything has a shelf life. And if something has died, you know, sorry, they're saying there, it's like, right, everything has a shelf life, and if you carry on with it past its shelf life, you're basically putting your life on the shelf. You're putting, yeah, just to gather dust, right? Okay, that was a nice analogy there they showed me. So this is saying that, like, you know, when something is dead, it's dead. You cannot revive it. It's like no point flogging a dead horse. You know, that horse is never going to get up again, you know. And this is saying that there's old relationships here that demand to be disintegrated, you know, dissolved in some way as well, because they are holding painful experiences, you know. They're holding painful experiences. That is the karma, that is the energy around them, and then painful experiences are penetrating it, you know. So the joy and the happiness and this lovely pink rose quartz love, can it be there? Because it's tainted, you know. It's like the milk has gone sour, you know. And this hasn't just happened straight away. This has happened over a period of time. So it's like, you know, nobody wants to be around that, you know. So it's time now, and this is what it's saying. So it's saying it's time to let go of something, you know. Maybe even this is just letting go of the idea that, you know, something can be fixed or whatever, you know, because it's, you know, it's letting go is hard, but staying where you're not fulfilled is harder, you know. So it's saying this letting go it might cause you a little bit pain, but it will also liberate you as well, you know. So death, when this death card comes in, it tears down, it destroys, you know, maybe your dream of what you thought. Because whenever we start out on something, we always have good intentions, but then they can get lost along the way. And if there's pain linked to it, that is what you will continue to feel. So this is saying, you know, that tear down them walls, let it fall. You know, let it fall. Keep trying to hold it up, because like I say, it is going to fall anyway. And if you're constantly trying, all you're doing is using energy, you know, that you could be putting into better things. So this is saying let that fall, and then, you know, that will also break the bonds that have been confining you, you know, and preventing you from living life, you know. So this is what is coming in. So it's saying listen to the guide in your hearts, okay? Your intuition in your heart. Your head might be saying one thing, but your intuition and your heart are saying others, you know? And they're saying there that love is such a wonderful thing, that when we get a chance of that, you know, we need to grasp it. It doesn't come along like buses, like, oh, every 5 minutes, you know. So if you have this connection or you have something like that, then you need to actually grasp it, because it's a gift that's been given. And it's like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, you know, because if you actually, you know, don't take that, the chances are that won't actually come around again in that way, you know. So it's saying when you listen to your heart, then you will win. It's a winning, you're on a winning streak. You cannot lose, because when you listen to your heart, you know, your heart doesn't hold fear. You know, your ego holds fear, but your heart knows, because it knows what it feels, and it knows that there's no fear, and it knows that there's no danger. And this is what we gain when we let go. So there are cords, you know, that must be cut here because our soul is screaming out to be liberated, you know, from these bonds that are keeping us restricted. There's a quote, an old Sufi quote, and it says that you die before you die, you know. So this is it. Some people, you know, die at the age of 30 and they don't get buried until they're in their 80s, 90s. What type of life is that? You know, to lie on your deathbed and says, yeah, well, for the last 60 years, you know, I sort of existed. I was in safe. I was comfortable. Or lying on your deathbed going, you know what, them experiences, I'm so pleased I'd done that. And, you know, I have lived a life beyond my wildest dreams because I didn't let fear hold me back in any way. I went for everything. Me and my friends were laughing the other day. We were saying, right, we're going to say yes to anything that comes along. And then something's come along that's actually really quite bizarre. I will tell you about it at a later date. And my friend was like, we've got to say yes to it. We've got to say yes to it. So we're doing it. And this is going to be a mad, crazy experience. But if we had have said no and let fear put us off, we're not going to have that experience. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but it will be fun, you know, and we know it's, and we're not going to be sitting in 10 years time going, you know, if we'd done that, what could have happened? You know, we're diving right into it. So like I say, this quote, you die before you die. And it says that as long as we fear death or letting go, it will remain. We cannot live life fully. All clinging, every no prevents us from being in the flow of life. So every time you say no to an opportunity that is presented to you by the universe, you are stopping the flow of your life, okay? So, like I say, I'm not saying, you know, don't say no ever, you know, because you have that right to say that. But I'm saying when something is presented by the universe, you know, it is for you. So if you turn that down, you are turning off the flow as well within your life. So this is about transformation. This is, you are no longer that caterpillar just going along at the one level. You know, you are in that cocoon and it's painful and it's not good. And it's like, but you are breaking down. You are changing as a person. And this happens with life. And this is why people have to part and leave things behind that they once loved. Because they have changed. We have evolved and we all evolve at different rates. And this is saying it's time to find your wings and come out as that free butterfly. You know, with that creativity, with that knowledge, with that wisdom, and with that love of life. Because when you have that love of life, then that is when love will come to you as well, and love will be attracted to you. So they're the Thoth cards today. And the Osho card, this is quite interesting again. And this is again why I'm saying that I think there is three sort of energies around with this, because this is comparison, you know, and this is saying sort of looking at two different things and saying which one would I be best with, okay? So that is looking at it from a logical sense rather than going with what you feel. One you might know, so it's comfortable. One might just be new, so you don't know with that, so you cannot make a decision judged on that. But what you can do is you can go into your feels, okay? Because like I say, when this card comes up, it's synonymous with the Five of Swords in traditional tarot, and this is talking about a battle that is not worth fighting, where everybody is getting hurt, but it's carrying on because, you know, wanting to win in a situation. There is no point fighting for something that you know that you are never going to be a winner in. You know, cut your losses, throw that sword down and walk away from it. Stop the fighting and start the living and start the loving. And with this card, it always saddens me when I see this, because it's like, within life, it's like there's so many people that don't like take the time to get to know themselves. And this is an essential duty that we have as well. Like I say, I'm talking about a battle there. You know, and this battle also could be around yourself, because you could be having like mixed feelings about people or mixed feelings about things, decisions. You know, you're comparing two different things, and your egoic mind is just like, is controlling not just your thoughts, but it's controlling your life. So if you're comparing two people in your life, okay, the thing you must ask yourself is, where do you feel better around? You know, if this is two people or two situations or whatever, which do you feel people around? Because people give off energies and we pick them up. If we're around somebody all the time, we pick their energies up. I mean, I do it within readings. I pick up the energies of other people, you know. So some people can drain us and make us feel small. You know, others can lift us. We just need to recognize what is it and who is it we feel good around, you know. And this is what people struggle with. They don't check into their feels, you know, and they don't realize that it's the people that surround themselves that are actually draining them as well, you know. So this is like, it's not that either of these people are better or worse, it's just energetically they're different, you know, and we are a different person in their presence, or we are affected differently by their presence, you know, or their essence. Johnny Depp had said, you know, if you love two people at the same time, choose the second, because if you really loved the first, you know, you would never have fallen for the second. You know, and that is a course of being true to yourself as well. So this is saying, don't just compare what could be and what is. You know, look at what is working in your life and look at what isn't. And it's time to get rid of whatever is causing you stress or grief. Whether this be a situation, whether this be a person, whether this be a job, whatever, it's time to let go. And yes, there will be some sadness and this hollowness as well, you know, around this. But that will pass. So just trust and surrender and it will all turn out for the best. When you choose to take negativity out of your life changes beyond measure, you know. And I only know this because I've done it. And in doing that, it did mean leaving certain people behind, you know. But believe me, I would never ever change it. You know, it was sad, but my life opened up and I have had so many much more wonderful experiences since, you know, and I would never swap that for the world. So it's like, don't compare your life to other people's. Neither don't say, well, they managed to do this or they done that. It's not about that. It's about you, you know, and it's about you actually honouring yourself as a person and honouring your life as well. Because when we bring in comparison in any sort of sense, this brings inferiority. It brings superiority. You know, when we don't compare, all inferiority and superiority disappears. You know, and we are free and we are free to flow. Okay, so I'm hoping these are making sense to people. The third card, the Colette Baron Reid card, is the Yin card. Now, this is quite an interesting card. And it is something I've been thinking about a lot as well, because this talks about the feminine sort of principle of receptivity, which is allowing yourself to receive as well. And, you know, if you are feminine, this is saying let somebody else make the first move, you know, tap into clues. This is like a conscious allowing something into your life. And if we have a look at the colours of it, it's very like rose quartz like, and that again, isn't it? And look at them beautiful petals. And it's, you know, this is about, to me, this is like taking the step up to an initiation of love, you know. And it's saying that to be receptive at this time, because miracles are waiting there for you. You just have to make room for them. And like I've said there, energetically we need to move stuff out so that stuff can come in. But this is really a beautiful, beautiful card. And it's saying, you know, people will show you who they are. Don't listen to what they tell you, show you, you know, see how you are around them, see how they treat other people and stuff like that, you know. So that might help a lot with this comparison. But it's saying here, love is waiting when you embrace the feminine. So whether you're male or female, you know, or whatever gender you relate to, when you embrace the feminine, so this is if you're masculine, if you actually look for this feminine, you know, if you're feminine, then you actually embrace these traits in yourself. Because the feminine is, it's softer, it's gentler, it's nurturing, it's more compassionate, and it's naturally loving. You know, the feminine aspect of us is naturally loving. It's tactile, you know. And when we are a woman and when we embrace our feminine, it does make us more vulnerable, okay? But through conversations I've had, it does actually make us more attractive as well. It's like I've always been one of the guys, okay, from being about 4-year-old. My best friends have always been boys, and now I'm literally, I think I have about 3 or 4 dear girlfriends in my life, and the rest of them are guys. So I'm like, it's, you know, I get the punches in the arm and stuff like that. And when I go to ask the guys questions about relationships and stuff like that, they're like, what you doing being a girl? And I'm like, yeah, I know I don't do girl very well. But you know what they say is, that's nice. People will, like, they'll say to me like, oh, look at you, you know. And it's something that I actually feel, I don't know, it's if I like somebody, okay, if I really like somebody, I have this thing, and I go quite quiet, and I go quite like shy and coy, and I turn into a total girl around them, you know. That is not a conscious thing, that is just what I do, you know. But it's a good thing, apparently, according to this. So this is saying, you know, allow that vulnerability, you know, allow yourself to embrace that as well, you know, because it's nice to be able to do that. Being a strong woman is fantastic, you know, and I would never change that. And I have had to do this through choice. It hasn't been, you know, it's because there's been nobody there to pick up the pieces. So it's had to be, right, okay, pull your big girl's pants up, Tanya, and get on with this, you know. But it is nice when somebody says, no, let me get that door for you. And within life, we have, like now, you know, there's a lot of feminists about, you know, and I'm a total feminist. I don't believe that, you know, I feel a woman is as strong as a man and can do all of this stuff. You know, I'm totally for that. But I don't feel we have to be man haters to be a feminist. You know, this is what I don't like. And I think as women, okay, and probably you're going to slate me for this, and this is why I probably haven't got a lot of female friends, but I find women have a double-edged sword a lot of the times, and they want to be respected. You respect me, you do this, yet if a guy doesn't open the door for them, they go, and he didn't open that door for me, what type of guy is he? And it's like, well, hold on, you wanted it, you know, you wanted to be equal, so that shouldn't be there. So it's like a lot of these sort of feminists, you know, these activist feminists, will demand their rights as a woman, that a woman is as strong as a man and all of this. But yet then they slate a man when a man treats them how they would treat a man. Okay, so if that makes sense there. So like I say, I am a total feminist, but I love men. You know, I do. I absolutely love them. I feel guys have a hard time a lot of the time, you know, and I see the way girls work with some of my friends, and I just think, wow, you know, they have decent men there and they don't appreciate that. It's all about games and playing and control a lot of the time. So this is saying, don't allow that. Just be you, be natural, be open to whatever is presented to you. Allow yourself to be soft. And when you are soft, this softness will come back to you. There's a beautiful... I'm really getting here. There's a real sensual feeling coming through with this as well. It's sort of like I'm smelling like, sort of like petunia and ylang-ylang. This is it. I'm getting it. It's sort of like, I don't know, rose petals in baths, and I don't know what this, but this is a beautiful feeling that I'm getting. And this isn't just a feeling of like, oh, right, God, you're hot, come on, let's jump into bed or something. This, when I'm looking at this, it's not. This goes, as I said yesterday with the cards yesterday, this goes so much deeper, and this is sort of a mind, body, soul thing, you know. I always say, I do find guys that look like Jesus attractive. Jesus is my ultimate guy, I think, because I always say, somebody asked me and I thought about it and I was being deadly serious. And I think he had long hair, he had a beard, you know. I bet he played guitar as well. He was pretty chilled. He had loads of friends, you know. He was up for travelling, you know. I was like, you know, Jesus was pretty hot. But it's like, you know, get my mind. That is the thing. If you can get into my mind and make my mind tick and turn my mind on, you know, then that is it. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like or anything. That is, I find, one of the most attractive qualities. And this is what this is saying, you know, allow yourself to completely, mind, body and soul, go into whatever is presented with you, you know. And when you do that, you will take this love, because like I say, this love that this is talking about love on a whole new level. It's not superficial, you know. It's not what would go on the front page of the OK or the Hello, you know. This is as deep as the ocean, you know, but it is beautiful. And like I say, there is a lot of exploring to do, but there is something that needs to end. This comparison needs to stop. And you actually need to be receptive, whether you are male or female, to actually step up them steps and sort of take this chance and take this initiation as well. And I feel that I don't feel you will regret this in the slightest. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? I really, really like them cards. So I hope they made sense to some of you. Like I say, if it's not a physical person, it could be a situation or something like that, you know. Allow the universe to move you, you know, like I say, to have experiences, you know, that touch your soul, that, you know, that make you glow. You know, that's the thing, because when we feel on that level, there is a glow comes off us, you know, our eyes start to sparkle, there's something that ignites inside of us, and it's like at the moment that spark has been put out, you know, so allow it to be ignited again, you know. It's beautiful what's coming through there as well. It's really, yeah, it's like music, it's the smells, wow, it's beautiful. I'm going to pull a spirit card and see what we have here, because I'm getting lost in that. It's like, right, okay, see ya, I'm going down that route. Yeah, sweetness, there's a lot of sweetness, yeah. So yeah, be sort of, allow yourself to be vulnerable as well, and take a chance. I feel, really take a chance. Okay, spirit card for the 17th of August. They're really not pulling today. I don't know what this is. Right, okay. A flame of love. Now look at the colours in that one. They're practically the same, aren't they? And look at that person in there, you know. It's almost like she's doing this dance, isn't it? You know, it all goes in with that card. And like I say, the music I'm feeling and everything. And I said, let that flame ignite. And this is saying, allow the infinite power of love within you to radiate unconditionally in all directions, yet stand tall in your sense of self and your own truth. The healing power of love will help you burn through all illusion, and you will discover new possibilities. This is a powerful time of transformation, ideas, and creativity. You know what it is? Like, I've used 4 different decks there, and they all tie in, and that has pretty much summed everything up that I said in them. That is why I love Spirit, and that is why I trust them. You know, out of 78 cards, that's the card that came out. So I hope that made sense to you as well. I want to say with this as well, look, it's like she's pretty tree-like, isn't she? You know, and we have that, which is pretty tree-like. And it's like when she is rooted in herself, firmly rooted in herself, this is when she can allow her to be. And like the trees are like antennae, you know, so when you are rooted in yourself, the trees are going to go out and they're going to like pick up the Wi-Fi of other people as well, you know. Yeah, wow. I love that. I love what they show me. So I hope that made sense to some of you. Please let me know if it did. And if anybody would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. I am fully booked this week. I have no emergency appointments or anything. So if you do want a reading, I suggest that you book in for next week, because people are now, the ones that are wanting the emergencies are now booking in for next week as well. So I can imagine by the time the weeklies go out, that will be full as well. Okay. I'm sorry that I only keep a couple of emergencies available a day, and they've all gone for this week. Okay, so sorry about that, but I can read for you next week. I have got availability. But have an absolutely fabulous, fabulous day and let love in, you know. To love and be loved is the greatest feeling in the world. Why would you want to stop that? It's the best drug. It's the biggest high, you know. Why would you want to sort of put barriers up and stop that? Okay. Satnam.